Kia ora, Gordon here, New Zealand Rocks Down Under. So I've been meaning for a while to get into stripping down my rock saw, replace the bearings because they're getting a little bit noisy. So we'll go strip it down and see about replacing these bearings. You've probably heard in the cutting videos that the old saw has a pretty horrendous sound, so I'll flash it up and see what it's going to sound like at the moment. So, yeah, those bearings are pretty shot. Blade's got a noticeable wobble in it, so we'll get that all sorted. Should be better than new when we're finished. I'll clean it off. These screws. Another one over here. So we'll find where the screws are. I might have to cut them off underneath. We'll clean the top off and start stripping it down. So from what everyone's been saying, these red bricks apparently, they've said that they've been great for cleaning up your saws, but apparently it's an old wives' tale. So the brick can go away. But even with the impact driver, it still wasn't moving these things, so I'm going to drill them out. So we'll drill the screws out and they'll be able to get the top off real easy. So we've got the top plate off. So it just looks like there's 4 gutter bolts holding that on. So it shouldn't be too hard to take off. Okay, so you don't want to lose the spacer washers that match the hole in the blade to the shaft, so it stops that sort of wobbling that way. So I've managed to pull the arbor out. I'll just see that there's a rub screw in. Gordon here, New Zealand Rocks Down Under. So this morning we're going to reassemble our arbors for the saw. had to go visit a mate. Wasn't phone a mate, it was phone a friend, it was go visit one. Because the old bearings were pretty hard to get off the shaft. So we'll go reassemble our shaft. Not sure if you can hear that. But they're pretty sharp. So we've got 4 bearings, 2 for each side of the shaft. And voila! Got some new bearings. These ones here, they're a little bit better than the old ones because we undo it. They're a sealed bearing. They've got a rubber ring around to keep the moisture out. And you can't even hear that one turn. So that should be really good. So we'll go put these on. So what we'll do is we'll just give these a light sand. Just to shine it up, make it, take any burrs off. Okay, so now we need to gently tap that on. So we've gone and got the bearing on this, so now we've got to put it in the arbor, tap that in. Once that bearing's in, we can put the other one in on the other side. Okay, so we're getting it in, just do the final tapping in. So that's pretty much flush. Now we'll put the bearing in on the other side. So we've got the bearings in. Turns quite nicely. If you notice, there's a little groove running around, so that's for a circlip. So we'll go put the circlip on. Yeah, so like all good home handyman, we don't always have all the tools. But we should just be able to push it over the edge. So we're pushing it over the edge so it gets into the groove, and like that, we're done. Cool. Now to put the pulley on the end, and then that one's done. So go find the leave that there from memory. I think that one actually had to go in a bit. So I'll just snip that up there. So we're back, got the bearing on. I'll put it in the arbor, other bearing in, pulley, blade, washer, and then that one will be ready to be reassembled back into the bench. got a rag. Always pays to keep things clean. This is the one that gave us all the grief last night. So I'll go back to the vice and then I'll put that one in. Oh, so bearings in. Go put the one on the other end now. Haven't done this for such a long time. I used to do all the maintenance on my own vehicles and do this stuff at work, but as I got older I got lazy and time was money, so I paid someone else to do it. Okay, so I'll back to the vice. I'll put that one in and then we can get in putting on our other stuff. Cool. Won't be long and we'll have it back up and running. Sweet as. So bearings are in now. Two ends, there's got to be a bonus, eh? So now put the pulley on this side and the blade collet on this side, and then we'll be ready to hook it all back up. But I will give this a bit more of a clean up because this was a mongrel to get off. Ended up getting some 2-foot Stilsons onto it to turn it on the shaft. So thanks to mates, thanks Lindsay for having some 2-foot Stilsons so we could get on and do this. Because the last thing I want is my saw bench down for extended periods of time. Because now we're here in the spring here in New Zealand and the weather's getting better and I do all my rock cutting outside. So for my American friends, you're heading into, well, you're well and truly into fall, or what we call autumn. So weather's pretty similar, except you're getting colder and we're starting to get hotter. Well, not as hot as some places. The forecast today to be 23 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. Let's have a look. I'll put that up on the screen out here. So 23 degrees Celsius is what it says here. So I'll edit that in post-production. So when you're looking at these here on the shaft, sometimes there's a flat spot. See the flat spot on there? So when you've got a grub screw, you line the grub screw hole up with that flat, so when you do the screw up, it's got less of a chance of spinning on the shaft, which unfortunately this did. That's why it was a pain to get off. So I'll just give this a bit more of a tickle up with some more sandpaper and we'll be right onto it. Okay, so we've got it sanded up. Let's going on quite nicely. Just give that a little bit of a tap to line the hole up with the original. Just like that. Put the grub screw in, and we should be right. So go find the grub screw. So we've got the grub screw on the end of the Allen key. Make sure that we line it up alright to go in. You want it done reasonably tight but not too tight. And can't even hear that. So these are now done. Now to go and reinstall them on the saw. Now time to put the flat diamond 100 grit flat lap on. Down. Okay, so we're going to put we've got the belt. We'll come over and look at this. Okay, so this is my Heath Robinson setup. We've got the belt running through, turning the saw blade, and then I've got it, as it comes back, it's running over the top of this pulley, which spins the flat lap. So that's my little setup. There's a bit of a bodge, Heath Robinson or whatever, but it works. Been using it for a couple of years now. And just turning that. Oh, it sounds so good. No noise. But we'll see what it sounds like when I start it up. I'll put the flat lap on and we'll give it a flash up. So we'll go put our 100 grit flat lap wheel on. This one's a bit easier to do up because the pulley's got a hole in it. So just put something in the pulley. It's a little bit tight. Time to test. And that sounds really quiet. Well, I think my neighbours are going to be happy with that, nice and quiet. So I'll put the lid back on and we should be good to go. So we've got it all bolted back down now. One more thing left to do is the plug. She's getting a bit, that earth pin's dodgy as. So we'll go replace the plug and we'll be all good to go. And that's us. Yeah, so this is not meant to be a tutorial on how to replace the bearings and arbor on a rock saw. It's just how I did it, so take what you will from it and hope you enjoy.